What's up, everybody? It's DSP here. It's the end of the day one footage of Heavy Rain. And what I mean to say is that all the footage that you've seen up to this point was from the first day of gameplay, so it was actually from Tuesday night. Now I'm going to actually, I just got home from work, I'm going to grab something to eat quick, and I'm going to go ahead and start playing again. So anything you see, showing up right now will be from day two, tonight, Wednesday night. I just want everyone to know, first of all, thank you for everyone who's following along, giving very positive feedback. Thank you. I personally am loving the game. I think that it's like watching an interactive movie, and then all of a sudden you'll be watching it, and then all of a sudden there's an interactive part that you need to do something real quick. You're like, oh shit! And you're like fumbling around for the controller to try to get it, and then finally you get it, and you're like, yeah, it's awesome, I think the plot's really good. Following along, first of all, thank you to those who are seeing these spoil sport motherfuckers who think that they're so ingenious because they can go online and try to spoil the plot. I've seen people try to go on the channel and in the movie comments and try to spoil it. Thank you for marking these people as spam. Again, I have no idea who the real killer is in Heavy Rain. I have not spoiled. I try not to read those comments. Luckily, the ones I'm reading, people are marking them as spam, so I'm not seeing them. So my thoughts from day one. From the clues that have been revealed so far, here's what I'm thinking, okay? Obviously the person that they're trying to make you think is the origami killer is Ethan Mars, the father, because he's having these, schizophrenic, flashes. He doesn't know where he's going. He's disappearing and waking up somewhere else. So obviously they want you to think that it's him. Plus he found origami in his hand already. I think that's too obvious. Usually the most obvious answer is not the right one in one of these kinds of thrillers. However, there might be a twist ending where it really is him. I don't know, but I don't think it's him. As for the girl, I don't think we know enough about the girl yet. I don't even know if we've learned her name yet. So I don't think it's the girl at this point, but we don't know enough to really make a judgment. The FBI agent is a little fishy. He kind of comes off as a little bit smug, but at the same time, if you seem to choose his calmer responses, he doesn't seem as smug. He seems a lot more serious. So I can't really get a read on the FBI agent yet. If the origami killer is one of the four main characters, I gotta go with Scott Shelby, the private detective, and here's why. A couple reasons. Number one, if you remember, at the beginning of the game, when you play as the FBI agent for the first time, one of the clues he finds is some blood on a fence, and he says the blood seems to be from someone who seemed very exhausted. And that's like the first big clue, because I think, if you remember, Scott Shelby has asthma. So if he's dragging dead bodies up from his car down to this wasteland, he's probably pretty exhausted. So I think that's clue number one. Clue number two is that he said the guy drives an 83 Malibu, and if you remember, and this is something that I noticed, it seems like a big red flag. I think the game makers might have fucked up, because if you remember in the demo of Heavy Rain, Scott Shelby drives up in an old looking car, and you know what, it could have been a 1983 car. You look at it, you're like, gee, is it an 83, is it not 83? I don't know. But in this game, it seems like when he drove up in a car, it might have been a different car, and I can't tell that. But if you notice, the first scene from the demo where Scott Shelby drives up to the alley and gets in, and it's like your tutorial stage, isn't in this game. They took it out. And I'm wondering if they did that on purpose, because maybe it was too much of a giveaway. Maybe it showed that he was driving an 83 Malibu. I don't think he drives it again, because I saw him, when he drives up to that woman's house who tries to commit suicide, I think he's driving a different car. I don't think that's an 83 Malibu. But again, I'm not a car expert either. I haven't looked anything up. This is all off the top of my head. But the other thing that seems to be like this big red flag is that the scene where he shows up and he walks into the convenience store to interrogate the convenience store owner, whose son had already been killed by the origami killer, he starts mentioning Sean's kidnapping. And the bottom line is, at that point in the game, Sean's kidnapping, I don't believe, had been made public yet. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure at that point in the game, if you remember, it wasn't until the next day when the press showed up at Ethan Mars' house and they were harassing him and not letting him out of his house. So I think maybe he is the origami killer. That's how he knew that Sean had been kidnapped. I could be completely wrong. Again, this is just from the first day's impressions. I think that could be the case. I think right now Scott Shelby is my number one suspect. However, there are some other things that are kind of sticking out. Like a lot of people have said Blake, who's the detective. He's not a main character, he's a supporting character. Blake, who's this detective who's working on these cases. Why is he such an asshole? Why is he so desperate to pin it on someone? Like when you go to see that Christ, Jesus fanatic guy, why is he so desperate to pin it on him? But I don't know. And the other thing is, obviously, the only other character really that we've talked about is that the Jesus fanatic guy. I forgot his name, but I accidentally killed him. I shot him in the fucking head by pressing the wrong button. So I really don't think he was the origami killer. Or if he is, that's going to be a real shitty ending when you found out you've killed him, you know, so early in the game. So, but I really do like the game. I'm loving it. I hope you guys are watching along with me. If there is any more nudity, like you see what I'm going to do if I run into it. Now, I didn't purposely not do the shower scene with the girl. In fact, I wanted to do everything with the girl before the shower scene and then do the shower scene. But unfortunately, the game didn't give me enough time to do it. They just kind of had her get attacked instead, which I didn't expect. I thought they were going to let me do everything and do the shower scene. But if there is nudity, there's very little, as you've seen. I'm going to edit it like I did on that first video. So thanks for the feedback. I tried to be funny. I hope that you guys liked it. So I'm going to start playing it a little bit. The only other thing I want to let everyone know is I've started using the announcement slash, I forget what they call it, but you'll see on my page now, my main channel page, above where the comments used to be, there's now a DSP or darksydephil says, darksydephil has uploaded a new movie, darksydephil blah blah blah. That's my activities area. And when I have an announcement to make, I'm going to put it there so that everyone can see it and it stays there. Because what was happening was I had nowhere to put it without making a video, and even if you know I make a lot of videos a day, the video might get bumped, so you might not see that announcement. And if I make a comment, the comment gets bumped within 5 seconds off the page and you never get to see it. So I'm going to be putting announcements at that area of the page, so check it out. Already just today when I came home from lunch, I noticed that a video had stalled in uploading. So I put a note there, oh, I noticed that there's a problem with this video. I don't know what it is. I'm going to restart everything. And then after about 45 minutes, I ate lunch. And when the lunch was done, I went back. It seemed to be working again. So I put up another bulletin. Listen, it's working. So go ahead and go back and enjoy. So please check out that area for bulletins from now on. I'm going to try to do my best to put up bulletins. So Heavy Rain, I love it so far. I can't wait to jump back in again. I'm going to, like I said, grab a bite to eat. Then I'm going to jump back in, and please keep in mind, YouTube takes forever to upload, so you probably won't see any videos, for another couple or a few hours, depending on what happens with, the gameplay and everything. So, alright, that's it.